Hey everybody, Matt Johnston here with another COVID-19 legal update. We have gotten through a couple of weeks of some pretty emergency situation, a lot of reactive work, a lot of things that most people weren't anticipating. And by now, I'm hoping that most people have sort of figured out what the problems are and have come up with some solutions to start trying to address those problems. Of course, we've been trying to keep you updated with all of the changes in the law, all of the changes in procedures, and some issues that are starting to come up, and hopefully some ideas that you can start implementing to help manage your business as you move forward. Now is the time to start thinking about the recovery. With every sort of crisis, with every sort of challenge comes an opportunity to grow, to learn, to try and do things a little bit different than we have done in the past. For small businesses, this is an opportunity to look at the way you deliver services, the way you manage your employees, the way you work entirely. Um, I hate to tell everybody, and if you haven't thought about this before, sorry, but if you are running a dispersed workforce, there's a pretty good chance that most of your employees who've been working remotely for the past week or 2 weeks are going to say, I was pretty productive when I was working at home, and I don't want to have to come to work every day. It's actually not a bad idea. It is a way that you can start looking at some of the benefits of having a remote workforce, or at least allowing people to work remotely on occasion. So I'm encouraging people to start looking at your HR management program when it comes to things like working remotely. So over the next few videos, I want to start talking about some of those actions that you can take, but also some of the legal implications of those actions that you need to start worrying about. So the first thing that I want to talk about is actually technology. Now, I'm no computer expert. I'm not even going to try and pretend that I am. But when you start working remotely, you have to start worrying about some technology things that you might not have had to work about or worry about in the past. And one of those issues is, well, two of those issues are what are referred to as bring your own device policies and data and network security. So if you talk to an IT expert, most of them are going to tell you, man, don't run a bring your own device program. You're just asking for all kinds of issues. And they're not wrong. Now they're looking at things from a viewpoint of viruses and hacking and Trojan horses and all of those malware things that can come about as a result of not having a consistent and unified setup for network security, for PC security, and also for your data security. And you have some other problems as well when it comes to a bring your own device policy. And number one among those is your ability as an employer to review what's happening. You see, when an employee is given access to a company owned computer, there's no expectation of privacy on that computer, none whatsoever. An employer can and has the legal right, and in some cases the responsibility, to look at what's happening on that machine, to track everything that's happening on that machine, everything from search history to your email, company provided email. They could install, if they wanted, a keylogger on your computer, and they could track everything that you say, do, write, look at everything. If you have a bring your own device policy, an employer doesn't have that same right, because while they may be able to look at company owned email addresses, they can't look at somebody's personal search history, at least not without a very, very good reason. And chances are you're not going to have very many good reasons. So, what happens if you have an employee who is, I don't know, sexually harassing a colleague by sending pornographic material from their personal computer, from their home? Having a BYOD, a bring your own device policy, opens up employers to that specific potential liability. But the other thing that you have to worry about is that not everybody has the same level of security on their machine. even if you have a bring your own device policy and you pay for that employee to install a virus protection software or other security software, that doesn't necessarily protect the employer for mistakes, misapplication, failure to activate the virus protection software the way it's supposed to be activated, the way it's supposed to be operated. And if hacking happens and customer data is stolen, the employer could be liable for that. So bring your own device policy does create a bit of an issue for folks to be concerned about. The other concern when you're dealing with a dispersed workforce is data security. And while you can obtain insurance, there's quite a bit of data security insurance that is out there to protect against the economic damages of a breach of some sort. Those insurance policies come with some requirements, and it is difficult to attain those requirements if you have a dispersed workforce where people are operating on other machines and they're not operating on anything that is employer owned. So while I expect people are right now working as best they can, often using employee provided um, uh, laptops or computers, home computers, and things like that, it is should and always only be considered an immediate stopgap procedure. And as soon as you can get your employees on company owned machines, the better off that you're going to be. So technology is one area in which employers that are starting to implement or think about a remote workforce, or at least allowing people to work from home a couple of days a week, you need to start planning right now for making that transition away from your emergency stopgap procedures into your final procedures and things of that nature. In future episodes, we're going to start talking a little bit about other things like how do you handle HR matters, how do you handle a sexual harassment sort of thing, and some of these other issues that are coming up. In the meantime, stay safe out there, keep your head up, and practice a little social distancing. Don't forget to wash your hands pretty regularly. I will talk to everybody later. Bye bye.